Hey everybody, today is September 2nd, 2022. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And welcome to Hanging with Uncle.
And before we do our normal intro, we have a special guest today.
Yay!
And I would like to introduce my girlfriend, Brittany.
Yay!
Hi,
Yay!
Brittany.
Hi!
She's here. So she's going to be chiming in every now and then. She
This
doesn't
is
really
actually her second time on the show.
Yes, second time. So she'll be chiming in with us as well. But how you doing, man? How's your
I'm
week?
doing great, man. Let me just start by saying, before we do anything else, if this is your first time listening or if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button.
Yes, and if you haven't, also follow us on Twitter. Get in the conversation with us.
And hit that thumbs up.
Yep, hit the like button, and come see us live on YouTube.
Yes.
It's a live conversation here, definitely.
It is. And we are smoking Infusion.
Yes, I like it so far. It's actually the first I have had today, so
Yeah.
you've already got me on the ropes. Jose Cuervo rounds going on right here with me.
Why don't we go ladies first? And what's
Absolutely.
on your mind, Brittany?
The biggest thing for me right now is just adjusting to my new job. I left corporate America, a very world-renowned moving company that will remain nameless.
Yeah.
Because my mental health suffered drastically. I was turning into a totally different person, and my breaking point was when our 9-year-old looked at me and said, "I'm no fun anymore." So I was like, all right, well, I gotta change something.
Gotta go.
Time to adjust that, yeah, because it was a little wear. It was a lot of wear and tear on you, and I know it was something that you stuck through, and I'm proud of you that you were able to stick through it. But you are much happier now.
Oh my
than you are
gosh.
now because you have let corporate America go.
Yes.
What's the difference in your work atmosphere now prior to your corporate America experience?
It's much more relaxed, and it's much more inviting and accepting. I told them in the face that I went through 3 interviews, and the last one I met the owner of the company and was just straight up honest with them. Like, look, man, I use disposable nicotine vapes. I have a tattoo. My nose is pierced. And he goes, I don't give a shit about any of that. Do you know how to do your job? I was like, yeah, I do. And he goes, cool, you're hired.
Nice.
She's allowed to be her.
So
that's basically
I get to look at everything and see the processes and procedures and how we can make things more efficient, more streamlined, and pitch it to them, and then be actually open to change.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
While remaining compliant.
Exactly.
And then,
Which is also part of my job.
yeah, and also having the experience, I guess, with a non-corporate company and also working with a corporate company in a different atmosphere, I guess. I do feel the difference in making sure you get the quota done versus the more personable experience too. It's more you're more interactive with these people. You get to meet them and know them rather than just working for the man, I guess.
Basically, that's what it was. I mean, that company had almost 50,000 employees, and I would talk to between 30 to 50 of them every day. Never know who they were, what they looked like, what they liked, if they had kids or anything like that. And now I'm part of a company that has less than 200 employees. And I got a phone call today from somebody who goes, hey, you're answering the phone too much. You need to stop doing that.
Brent says hello. Also, Brent's in the chat. Hi, Brent.
What's up, Brent?
He's smoking gelato right now. He's enjoying.
All right.
Yes, he's on the gelato train.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah. Choo-choo. Yeah. Whew. But I have to agree though. You are much happier. I'm happy that you're much happier.
Yes.
Even if you were still working for them, you would probably not be here today.
No.
You probably would have stayed home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
absolutely. Stay
yes.
home, probably gone to sleep.
Yeah. Honestly, she probably would have. But yeah, it's a good day today. Honestly,
It really is.
We're
Don't forget to pay yourself.
Exactly. Friday, pay yourself. I'm excited. I get to work Monday, but everyone has a long weekend. Everyone gets an extended weekend. Yay.
I'm excited for an extended weekend, but that just means extra effort at home to make sure the house is quiet while
honestly,
you work.
it's going to be a relaxing weekend.
Every day
It
is
is what it
extended
is.
for me.
There you go.
Now, I wanted to get into a conversation. It's kind of a little loose leaf conversation. We're having history being made right now, and a lot of people are aware, but the Williams sisters, and well, of course, Serena is still playing right now in her match, but the Williams sisters had their last match together, ever. They lost to a Czech duo. They were very good, honestly. But
they'd have to be.
the Williams sister era duo has finally officially come to an end. It's a very somber, sad feeling in a way. But
It's like a sad but happy feeling because we got to see it. We got to like
see
watch
it again.
happen.
Yeah, I get to
It's
see
like
it again. Yep.
watching Ali get knocked down.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
whoa, like or Jordan finally losing and like all that. Like
Yeah.
Brady's gonna have his time for sure, but like we get to see this Williams sister arc kind of come to a close with this U.S. Open run that they're on. But Serena beat the number 2 the other day, and she's on her
She's
run
on
right
a
now.
run. Yes, she is.
She is playing the other. The other person won 7-5 in the first set, and it's now 6-5 in the second set. So the third set has started, I believe. So yeah.
Go Serena.
Let's go. Get to cheering because it's history right now, and it's kind of like a little announcement for history.
It is. You know what? And you know what I like about tennis versus really any other sport, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you have the same players traveling the globe, playing in every major city and country. Name one other sport that does that.
Esports, dude. I mean, they do, but no. I mean,
right, but
golf has its European part, but like that's only part way
That's
throughout
just
the tour.
European.
Like it's not really a part of. It's just a part of the little segment. Like these guys do travel the globe internationally. I encourage basketball to do. I think it'd be great to have basketball start doing that in international play. Like that'd be amazing to
so
watch.
cool.
Like all the different styles of basketball happening. But like yeah, tennis has like that huge world feeling, and like the world is tuned in right now with again history. Like, what other sport has this kind of like bond? I guess like Tiger Woods is literally there cheering for her. Like there's a picture of her winning and flexing, and him winning and flexing behind her.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Like, it's like tennis is a world renowned sport.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
And man, we just look back at everything that they've accomplished. All the Grand Slams they've won. I still don't think anyone. Venus still has the record number of Wimbledon.
I don't know. I don't know if she does or not. I'd have to tune in, like check in on that. But yeah, it's again history in the making. People need to tune in on it. And with again her making this amazing run right now on TV, you got to tune in. You got to pay attention to the action because history does end at some point. It's
does.
history for a reason. You know?
It really is. It really is because
that's some good stuff.
And I'm not going to say it's a good thing it's ending, but one of the positive things that I personally will take away from the ending of this tennis duo is that it ended on the court and not in a courtroom or anywhere else.
Yeah, and doing something that they love and they grew up with, and like. Even that movie, like, there's history about them. There's a movie with Will Smith in it, and, like, you can literally read probably a whole biography. Yeah, King Richard, thank you. And you can probably read a whole, like, they have their own biographies about them, about their life and what they went through. But that is literally starting from the bottom, and now they're there. Like, they literally made a stamp in history. Not only for black women everywhere, but, I mean, it is history for women everywhere. Like, seeing just a great of all time, like a woman of power. Like she has this huge, like she's a very obviously powerful woman, but like she has a strong like aura of her and everything. Like she it's just a win everywhere for them. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, just look at that woman. She's pure muscle. She takes care of herself. So I mean, that's something else really to take away from it.
Right.
That if you take care of yourself, you can play a lot longer now than what we knew 20 years ago.
Yeah, a very long career. So no matter the outcome with the U.S. Open right now, we got to tune in. It's time
hats
to tune
off. Take a bow.
Yep.
Your Highness.
Yep.
Yes.
Facts. Like, there's not many people who say the greatest of all time. She's actually in one of those categories to where there's some greats who can't touch her. Like, there are some names, Tony Hawk for skateboarding, and I guess we say Tiger for golf, and there's others, of course, for, like, LeBron James and Michael Jordan right now in basketball, but, like, she is the greatest of all time.
She's been doing this for a very long time, and she's taken them all on, and she's beaten all of them.
Yeah.
They've come and gone, and she's still here.
Yep. No, so many hurdles. But yeah, I just think that's
so. I mean, hats off. That's all I can say.
Absolutely.
Now let's continue. We have a huge update about Mar-a-Lago stuff, don't we?
Man, there is so much to talk about.
Wasn't there a huge release today, or was that yesterday?
So All right, we talked a little bit about, on Wednesday,
Yeah.
we talked a little bit about the affidavit being unsealed, but it was redacted. And I read the thing.
Did you?
And like 90% of the affidavit was redacted.
Dang.
But the 10% that was there, the Tangerine Terror's in a lot of trouble.
It's like, what's the point? But, I mean, context clues, I guess, you can find about
Yeah.
that 10%. So what did you... the yes, he's in trouble is basically what they... But is that all that you get? Is just like, yeah, he's in trouble? Or did they actually bring up just, like, concrete stuff and information that we know about this?
Okay, so this is a
information.
legal process.
Uh-huh.
All right? Before you get a search warrant, you have to write an affidavit and prepare a search warrant of where you want to search, what you want to search, what you hope you want to find, all that good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Present it to a judge, have the judge say, yes, I find enough probable cause in this warrant, I'm going to sign. Or, no, I'm sorry, you don't have enough here, you're missing this.
Yeah.
So don't bring it back to me because I'll think you're trying to change a legal document.
Right.
But if you take it to another judge,
There you go.
yeah, hands of watch, you get a Pontius Pilate on,
Yeah.
on
That
the
makes
thing.
sense. Yeah, okay. So,
But
like...
still, they got a warrant
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. For a reason.
on the first try. Again, now as many warrants as I've written, and now mind you, all the warrants that I've written are for cocaine.
Right, because you were around that.
I
that
bought
era.
a lot of cocaine. There was a lot of hand to hand.
Cocaine.
I was my own personal informant. You
Right,
know?
yeah.
Right. So I mean, I did a lot of buys myself.
Right, so you know the process, the
Right.
due process. So,
And what you do is when you find contraband, you take pictures of it.
uh-huh.
Number one, you take pictures of where you find it. Then you take it out and you lay it out to see what you have because you have to document everything.
Yeah.
So I find it laughable when I listen to these idiots talking about, oh my God, there's like, they think all this stuff is just, we keep it all over the floor. No, dumbass. They took it out of the desk and laid it out on the floor,
Yeah.
marked it with the number 2A. You know, this is what they're using for evidence.
Right.
And it's classified material.
They're trying
Yeah.
to just, kind of just what is it called? They're trying to put a bad
Dismiss.
name. Yeah, dismiss it. Thank you. They're trying to dismiss everything and then just make it a bad name for the FBI.
And as a matter of fact, they were going to the point of trying to dismiss it by saying, oh, this should be treated like an overdue library book.
I mean,
Cheap.
wow.
Right?
Wow. So with this whole process happening, how long are we looking into this, Gene? Like, is this going to be a few months of us getting new information just spoon-fed to us in any bitty pieces at a time? Or is it just going to be a whole, like, okay, here's a scoop, boom, big dump, and we're going to have something happen?
I would think that with it being like as sensitive as it is, with whatever documentation he has, it's going to be spoon-fed, and it's
Yeah.
going to be dissected, and it's going to be media censored.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, why is it censored for us when it should be information we should know? Like I've always said, it's our government. Like,
So if I know Merrick Garland,
yes.
and he operates anything like anyone I've ever known working, you know, in clandestine situations and getting search warrants, is that... Hold on, let me hit this.
Yeah. Building up the suspense.
I mean, that's just the general matter of things. So, you know, to me, it's ridiculous. So, to answer your question, they've had to prepare a return. So this to the judge to say, okay, we executed the warrant you signed, and they did in 3 days. This is when you have like within, I think, 10 days to execute a warrant. They did it on the third day.
Okay.
And after you execute the warrant, you have, I want to say, 10 days to write your return to the judge that issued the warrant to say this is what we found. And again, this is a criminal investigation.
Right.
You know, there's a grand jury at play here. They plan to indict, which is the same as arrest.
Yeah.
And all that information has been reviewed. I believe it's been given to the grand jury. And I think the grand jury is preparing indictments on the 3 charges that we talked about last week. Obstruction of justice, and the evidence of the obstruction being the documents that are there.
Yeah.
Because you lied when you signed a document, when you had your lawyer sign the document saying, we already gave you all the information we had, there is no more.
Yeah.
But they found 184, classified documents.
Yeah.
And empty folders, I heard too.
Some were empty, but
Yeah.
but that's not the point.
Right.
The point is, there's still got 184 classified documents.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, that's the wrong point. No, it was more a stab towards our ex-president for trying to make it seem he's a little bit more important with more folders that were just empty. And just like, it's just, I don't know. It's just the whole thing.
That's evidence of the obstruction right there.
Right, absolutely. Because
Number 2, handling of important documents. And I'm really dumbing it down.
Yeah.
I'm not using that terminology. So, did he mishandle that? Of course. Was that in a secret location? No, it was right there in his desk.
Right.
How many people were going in and out of that office? How many people looked at that classified information that was right there in his desk with all the people that were coming and going?
Right.
Yeah.
How many people did he show it off to? Because he likes to make himself look important. Look at the documents I have. Look at these pictures I have of satellite imagery of what's going on.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I agree. Like, you can't really have. I've talked about classified information in my time of work, and you can't have stuff out like that. Especially like. It has classified information that could get you in trouble.
And that's the other thing.
Mishandling of information.
Pretty
absolutely.
much, again, dumbing it down.
Yep.
Just having that stuff, being in possession of stolen property.
Yeah.
Because that information does not belong to him. It belongs to the United States government.
Right. And he shouldn't have any more when he's not president
Everything.
anymore.
When you walk out the door, you take nothing with you.
Right. And the big statement about that is he's not president anymore, so why do you have presidential documents on hand? That's another kind of question that I have. Like, you really shouldn't have that
And
anymore.
you're not the only one asking that question.
Right. You really shouldn't have that anymore, should you? So, even though some people still believe that, it's not true. I just...
So to answer your question, when do I feel it will happen? I think the grand jury is in the process of writing up the indictments now. This is September. I'm going to go out on a limb here and play Smitty the Greek and say October they indict.
Okay, that's not too long. I can deal with that much longer about it.
Yeah.
No, but that's, good. The due process needs to happen. Like, it needs to be cookie cutter, like you say. We're going to get spoon fed the information.
Treat him like you would treat anyone else.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
I'm
not a big fan of classified stuff like that. Everyone knows. I need it now. But time will tell. He's in trouble if it's that many documents and
those are all criminal counts. That's just not like we're going here to get this stuff to bring it back because you have it.
Right.
They are looking at criminal charges. That's why search warrants were issued.
Say,
That's why a grand jury was impaneled.
You have to say you have to have a warrant for. There has to be a reason for that to have the warrant. So
Yeah.
That it all happened at some point. The domino effect. This is some good stuff, man.
But see, and here's the thing. So Trump could be running around and trying to find out who the leak is. Well, who's the one who told him I had all this information, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you read the redacted affidavit,
probably somebody doing their job.
A lot,
Right?
And that's exactly what it was. A lot of the information obtained was by the investigating services or resources, people working in those agencies.
Right.
And because he's so stupid,
People who do their job.
he just invites him in and says, "Hey, look at what I have." Because there was a story that came out a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
About this chick impersonating being part of the Rothschild family.
Okay.
And she had fake passports and all this stuff, and got onto Mar-a-Lago, was invited back to parties because of the name Rothschild. So how easy is it to infiltrate Mar-a-Lago? Because he's a stupid son of a bitch. And if he wants to know who the leak is, he should look in a fucking mirror.
Bro,
That's my opinion.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand it, man. Like, I really don't. Just good. It needs to happen. The world needs to know what happened with these documents and why he has and all the good stuff. Because, like, I don't know. I'm just over it. I'm over talking about him. That's kind of like where I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to go and to jail where he belongs, one, and two, not be talked about anymore.
Right?
No more of him. Like, I'm happy.
Tired of conversations revolving around him.
Honestly, I'm over it. He needs to go where he's supposed to go, so I'm glad that they're doing the due process, and it'll actually put him in jail, and we'll be done and over with him, and gone. Be rid of him.
You know?
Like, thank God. And we need to focus on the future, which isn't too bright right now.
And Tuesday I talked about, not Tuesday, Wednesday I talked about the hypocrisy, especially of people like Lindsey Graham, you know, who are trying to invoke the double standard between him and Hillary Clinton and her private server.
Yeah.
You know, so sorry, dude. That excuse is falling on deaf ears.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I have kind of like another topic I wanted to talk about that we can move on to if we have enough time.
Sure.
We normally go on a little global warming take, and I do want to something that just came out about 2 hours ago. Death Valley hit 127 degrees.
That's the hottest it's ever been recorded. Right?
Ever been recorded, yes, in history actually. In a September day on our planet.
But global warming's not real.
No, not at all.
Climate change isn't a thing.
Not a thing at all. But yet again, with the job that I do, I talk with customers all over, not only our country, but in other countries. And global warming is actually a thing. A lot of people are talking about how hot it's been and how they're trying to beat the heat. And then I also talk about how we're fighting our heat out here, like in Arizona. Yeah. And they even are like, oh my God, you're also suffering too. I'm like, we've been suffering for a while. Y'all are just joining along. Y'all are just hopping on.
To me, in my opinion, or at least just in my travels from the people that I've talked to personally, is that people don't get the idea of global warming. They think because it's fine where I am right now, what's the problem?
Right.
And it's global warming.
Yeah.
There's hurricanes right now forming in the Atlantic Ocean heading toward the east coast of the United States.
Dang, is it really?
Danielle, right? Is the name?
Yeah.
Danielle, yeah.
Dang, I didn't know. That's the first time I've heard. Interesting. No,
yeah.
I mean, not interesting. That's a bad thing, but like, again, global warming is not a thing. Like, we have to pay attention to our future and pay attention to our planet.
It was just upgraded from a tropical storm to a hurricane.
Yeah.
Just upgraded?
Yeah, today.
Today? Mm-hmm. Okay, so, like, breaking news. Like,
it was like 6 hours ago,
Like, again, just normal global warming take from us here at Uncle, you know. We got to start taking care of our future. And that's going to be one of our dumbass takes, too, because most of it falls along on our generation. I'm 30 years old. Like, we need to wake up, people. Hello. Like, we're doing something bad. Like, yes, we're moving on to electric cars. Yes, we're moving on to more electric usage. I'm glad we're doing that. We need to continue that trend because Nevada is going into no lawn usage because we have dried up rivers and record-breaking heat going on. 127 degrees.
I still find it amazing.
53 degrees Celsius to put that in the other term.
To our metric.
To metric, thank you.
I still find it amazing that mine is the only house on this block with solar.
Bro, we should be lit up in solar here. Like Arizona should be this is the same. I random same tangent over and over again. Arizona should be the solar panel of our country,
especially here in Arizona. We can generate so much and sell so much or provide so much.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like, that's a revenue right there. That's a whole other market.
It's like all the wind farms out in California. You get the Santa Anas blowing. You got those giant-ass windmills out there.
there's
There
more
you go.
windmills going out.
But
without,
windmills
like-
off the coast
Yeah.
that spin and generate power for coastal cities.
There's starting to be like ocean windmills. Like people are starting to build them out in the ocean where there's constantly wind and constantly like stuff happen, like waves and all that nonsense. It's generating energy out there too as well. Like it's really cool. Like if you look it up, like there are actual like wind turbines or windmills, whatever you want to call them, that are built into the ocean that
Yeah.
are poking out, that are generating energy. Like,
I think it's either Rhode Island or Delaware, one of those two states that's
is that
doing
where it's
that.
happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's amazing. Like I think it's super cool. Like that's cool technology that can help us in the future. We need it in more places. We gotta wake up. Like
Yeah.
again, our generation's gotta wake up about that. But
Man, this is stuff I've been preaching since I was your age, though, man.
Yeah,
it's like this
absolutely.
is
well, it's the talk of what I do. Like even now, the word recycling isn't even like tossed around now these days. Like people aren't really talking about it. Like. But there are places in like Portland who are doing double duty with the 2 weeks of trash and making sure people are doing more recyclable trash instead, more yard waste
Yeah.
instead, do more sorting to try to make their place more green. They have a system where they're able to, it's extra to buy aluminum cans apparently, a little extra fee to buy it. But when you reuse them and recycle them, they repay you for it. Like encouraging people to go buy aluminum
Right.
cans.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, we got to start waking up about it. But let's get into our
I
dumbass
agree.
of the
It's
week.
time for dumbass of the week.
Go ahead. You go first, man.
Me? All right. So, since that little post I did on Wednesday, about the hypocrisy of Republicans and Lindsey Graham,
Check out Twitter.
and I've heard, well, how come Hillary Clinton was never, officially investigated,
Right.
and want to blame Nancy Pelosi. And I say, stop and put it on a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
When did the chance of lock her up start?
Right before voting for Trump, I'm sure.
Right, so let's say 2015.
Yeah.
So who was elected in 2016?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And in his first 2 years in office, he had help with the control of the House and the Senate because Paul Ryan was Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
So my question is, don't ask me why Hillary wasn't investigated. Ask Paul Ryan. Ask your Republican friends why. He was the one in charge. How come they didn't do it? Ask Mitch McConnell. He was in charge of the Senate at the time. Lindsey Graham was chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Why didn't he do it if he wants to complain about Hillary so much?
Absolutely.
I'm
Right.
tired of them using her name as a boogeyman reference to make people feel scared when they didn't have shit.
Yeah.
Jeff Sessions was the first attorney general for 2 years. He was a senator from Alabama and resigned that position to be attorney general. Do you think he would not have loved to put the handcuffs on Hillary Clinton? Why didn't he do it?
Yep.
Bill Barr was attorney general for the next 2 years. Do you think he would not have loved to put handcuffs on Hillary Clinton? Why didn't he do it?
Yeah.
Because they had nothing. Because you're lying, you're full of shit.
That
And
whole
I'm
scapegoat.
talking about
Yeah.
all those dumbasses that still want to blame Democrats for why Hillary Clinton was never investigated.
Yeah.
You're a dumbass. She even sat in front of Congress for 11 hours in front of Trey Gowdy and stuck to her, her testimony, and they never found anything. So you guys are dumbasses. Shut up about Hillary Clinton already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole
Stop using her as a scapegoat. You have nothing. I'm not buying it.
That
Yeah.
scapegoat mentality, man. We've talked about that before on the show as well.
Yeah.
Like it's constantly thrown out there. But we have kind of like a local, but also again we chimed earlier on our generation dumbass tandem. Beb, do you want to do it?
Yeah. So my dumbasses of the week are the parents that aren't being responsible with their guns. I am
Yeah.
all about owning your gun, protecting your home, your family, your property, all that kind of stuff and everything.
Absolutely.
I do believe that we need to have stricter gun laws
Mm-hmm.
in place. As far as, better screenings and things like that, people have access to firearms. But if you're the kind of person that you've passed all of that kind of stuff, you've been granted the privilege of owning a gun in your home, that you're then responsible for making sure that your child cannot get to it. And all of the people that are like, oh my gosh, like we just had a 7-year-old who was caught with 2 guns and ammunition in his backpack this week.
Literally here.
At an elementary school. Our son's 9.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that hits too close to home for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I blame the parents. I don't blame the kid. I blame the parents because if the gun was put away the way it should have been, the kid shouldn't have been able to get to it.
Yeah.
Period.
And the dumbass of the week is our generation's parenting skills right now.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm a perfect parent.
No.
Not by any means.
But
I'm learning as I go.
Again, we need to wake up and be a little bit more mindful about what we actually want to happen with our country in the future. Because yes, I do know gun nuts who are our age who, yes, I understand you have what you want. I mean, we talked about it again on the show, do it in a safe place, but make sure you keep it safe in your home and safe from our children too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate thing that I ask for.
Certain things should be no-brainers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like growing up, there were guns in my house. There are guns all over my parents' house now. And I was 16 before I actually knew that there were guns that were accessible because my dad told me when I was younger, these are the guns that we have and they're in this safe. And it was a keypad safe. So there was no key. It was you had to have the number combination to get into it and everything. And then later down the road, I found out, there was one on top of the fridge for easy access. I never thought to look on top of the fucking fridge.
Right.
Never. So I'm just like, be more mindful about it. Like, think before you say or show your kids something because that's something that's going to stick with them. Children are sponges.
Yeah, like maybe like instead of having that one on the fridge, like yes, easier access. Maybe have an easier access safe.
Yeah.
Or maybe something like that to make it, preventable for our children to gain access to these things. So,
Exactly.
yeah, that's our
Yeah.
dumbass announcement.
Thank you for being with us this week, Brittany.
Not a problem.
Absolutely, and thank you guys for hanging with us on the show. I love you, Boo Boo. Thank you for being
too.
here. And thank you for tuning in. I'm Zane,
I'm Gene.
and this has been Hanging with Uncle.